In order to determine whether or not an antique brooch that was found on Lot 21 is partially made of gold, his son Alex and his buddy Craig Tester traveled to St. Mary's University in Halifax. The brooch was discovered this year and was inspected by a geologist. Dr. Krista Bro, an associate professor of chemistry who specializes in electrochemical chemistry, as well as metals and their chemical compositions, along with her colleague, Dr. Xiang, are joined by Dr. Bro and Xiang in order to investigate the chemical composition of the brooch and determine whether or not it is composed of gold or any other precious metals. Employing a scanning electron microscope with a high level of optical power, after magnifying the brooch to a magnitude that is tens of thousands of times larger than its true size, the team will analyze its chemical makeup in order to discover whether or not it is composed of gold or any other valuable metals. Pure copper can be found in the dark area, whereas gold can be found in the light area. This is the very first piece of gold that has been certified to have been discovered on Oak Island, and it is regarded as a treasure. In light of the fact that Marty Lagena is thrilled about the discovery and intends to bring in the motherlode this year, he calls a meeting in the war room to inform his brother Rick and the other members of their team about the wonderful news. Marty Lagena, his son Alex, and his friends, together with his business partner Craig Tester, are going to St. Mary's University in order to investigate the prospect of discovering gold in an antique brooch that is located on Lot 21. A key event in the history of the Oak Island treasure hunt has occurred when Rick and Marty Lagena, along with their team, have found their first gold on Oak Island. This discovery marks a crucial development in the journey. They are pushed back further in time than they ever imagined they would be able to see here as a result of and discover whether or not they can replicate them. They have high hopes that they might be in close proximity to the genuine treasure, and they are cooperating with one another in order to bring everything together. The geologist Terry Matt and the geologist Charles Barkhouse are keeping a tight eye on the drilling of borehole DN11.5, which has reached the potential treasure zone that is between 80 and 20 feet deep. They have broken through something that is around 90 feet below grade, which means that they are getting closer to the finding all the time. Due to the presence of trapped air and voids in the treasure zone, this void is located within the treasure zone, which is renowned for its high gold values. Currently, Rick and Marty are taking a break and contemplating the next steps to take in this situation. They have discovered a hole in the DN11.5 that appears to coincide with the DN12.5 and DN13.5, all of which have struck a structure that is 94 feet below grade. It is possible that they have reached the end of the tunnel. If Mike is able to hit this vacuum at a distance of around 90 feet in two other neighboring boreholes that are aligned with the garden shaft, the team has lately discovered what they think to be a tunnel that is at the same depth as previously discovered. In light of this, it appears that they may have reached the end of the tunnel. The group is enthusiastic about the possibility of finding riches in the Money Pit region, and they are resolved to gain. There is a group of investigators who are undertaking a treasure search in the area surrounding Oak Island, and the narrative provides a description of them. They are currently searching for a passageway that could lead them to the discovery of a significant quantity of gold that is concealed within the baby blob. The team is resolute in their pursuit of the riches that are located at the bottom of the garden shaft, and they have obtained the results of the X-ray fluorescent spectrometer, XRF, from DN11.5 in order to assist them in their search. Based on the findings of the XRF analysis, it can be concluded that the tunnel is in fact a tunnel and that it leads to the garden shaft. After being dried out and scanned with XRF, the wood sample that was retrieved from borehole DN11.5 was found to have originated from a tunnel that was approximately 90 feet deep. The findings revealed trace amounts of iron, manganese, titanium, calcium, potassium, and aluminum, all of which are materials that are anticipated to be found in the Oak Island region. The fact that they discovered a sizable quantity of gold, on the other hand, is a very important anomaly. This one-of-a-kind outcome, which was achieved by applying the concept in two distinct modes, in the woods and in the water, has the potential to establish a connection between the team and the location of the treasure, as well as the path from which they must go. On account of the fact that it might lead to an SP spot where exploratory drilling or digging can be carried out, the gold sampling of the water and wood is anticipated to be the most successful endeavor of this year. We are keeping our fingers crossed that this could be the beginning of a chain of evidence that is just as significant as the water sample has been up to this point. In addition to assuring the team that they would continue to work on locating the treasure, the team confirms that they will continue to submit. The team is ready, resolute in their pursuit of the wealth that lies at the bottom of the garden shaft, and they want to make use of the XRF results in order to ascertain its location and the possible direction it could be heading in. Furthermore, the team is committed to supplying further samples in order to assist them in making decisions that are based on accurate information. They are hopeful that their results may lead to the discovery of the wealth that is located at the bottom of the garden shaft.
Gold and silver beneath the surface, they have good cause to continue their search for the elusive treasure, as they continue to make new openings and discoveries that provide them with valuable new information. The crew remains optimistic regarding their overall progress. The discovery of the artisanal spike adds to their growing body of knowledge in this discipline, which was used to calculate the precise elevations of the tunnel. The group's intention to conduct additional research, including C-14 testing, demonstrates its significance. Marty Lagena, Craig Tester, Gary Drayton, and blacksmithing expert Carmen Legg returned to the Institute to discuss the iron spike they discovered at a depth of over 100 feet in the B4C shaft. The enigma of Oak Island has evolved into a captivating tale, a perplexing puzzle whose mystique has only grown as time has passed. Their words, which emphasize their conviction that gold can be located on oak, exude confidence. During the height of piracy in the late 17th and early 18th centuries, it was widely believed that Oak Island served as a secure haven for pirates operating along the entire east coast of North America and in the Caribbean. This notion has existed since the beginning of island exploration. They pondered whether this was the location where a pirate commander had hidden his loot. As they proceeded deeper into the tunnel, however, water began to fill it. This was owing to the peculiar location of the island they were working on, which was above a glacial mound. Despite the fact that no treasure was ever discovered on Oak Island, the legend surrounding the purported location of the loot has been so captivating for the past 225 years that visitors have been making the voyage there. Over time, others began searching for wealth all over the island, not just in the money pit dug by McGinnis and his companions. However, what is the treasure casket intended to contain? As a young man, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who would later become the 32nd President of the United States, became intrigued by the topic after his father, who had business interests in Nova Scotia, provided details about the rumored wealth. This was the result of FDR's father's involvement in the province. The onset of the Second World War in Europe prevented him from traveling to Oak Island in 1939, despite his efforts to keep apprised of the most recent information about the island throughout the remainder of his life. In a similar vein, two prominent actors from the middle of the 20th century, Errol Flynn and John Wayne, funded expeditions to search for the Oak Island treasure. Despite their lack of success, they continue to unearth evidence that fascinates and confounds people in equal measure. Be sure to subscribe and enable post notifications for more timely updates on fascinating new discoveries. Numerous individuals have a variety of plausible and implausible hypotheses regarding the contents of the Oak Island treasure. The most prevalent and plausible explanation is that it is the plundered fortune of a notorious pirate who operated between 1660 and 1730, which is generally accepted to have been the golden age of piracy. Famous pirates and buccaneers frequented the rivers along the east coast of North America, from Canada to the Caribbean during this time period. Edward Teach, also known as the infamous pirate Blackbeard, was one of these individuals. Due to the high level of piracy that existed during this time, the governments of Spain, England, France, and other countries with a financial stake in the security of their commerce in this region were unable to prevent pirate attacks on colonial ships returning to Europe. Beginning with the Treaty of Utrecht, which ended the War of the Spanish Succession in 1713 and was signed by the main European powers, coordinated attacks on pirate ships put an end to the golden age of piracy in the Western Atlantic. The Treaty of Utrecht terminated the War of the Spanish Succession officially. The history of the money pit on Oak Island is shrouded in mystique. According to geology, the money pit was not an underground vault constructed by humans to hold wealth. The bedrock of the island is readily eroded